games that John's there.
Yeah!
Step right up, see you in the show! Step right up! Look at the sunset. Who has it? The money is not
Welcome everyone to Bread and Circus! It's a show in 3 parts, and Act 1 begins right now. Ladies and gentlemen!
Bankers and bakers!
Hats and cats.
All you muckrakers!
Gather around for a show of shows.
While we teach you what we know.
You're probably wondering why we're here. We're here to tell you a story, my dear, of the home of the free and the land of the brave, of democracy.
Oh, that's one of my faves.
Ahem! 407 years of... Oh, that's not it. We the people of the United... that's not United. Here it is, the Declaration of Independence. It says that everyone is born with the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Yay! Wait. What does that mean?
Well, it means that everyone is born free and that it's the government's job to protect that freedom.
Well, that just sounds beautiful.
Oh, and it also says here that it's the government's power that comes from the will of the people.
Oh, so you mean that in the end, the people control the government, not the other way around?
Exactly.
Yeah!
Well, that's democracy. Give it up!
Give it up! Woo! Yeah! Wait! If the people are really in charge, then why did the Supreme Court recently give giant corporations like Exxon and Monsanto and Goldman Sachs the same rights as human beings?
What? They did?
You bet your Christmas goose they did.
Oh dear.
Oh, but that doesn't make any sense! A corporation isn't a person. They don't laugh or breathe or cry.
Yeah, plus I know a lot of these guys are always getting in trouble. They're polluting our ground and water. They're lying, stealing, cheating, all sorts of nasty stuff.
Yeah, so then, why did the Supreme Court give them the rights that were only intended for people? How can anything that's not alive have any rights at all?
This is insane! This is absolutely crazy, clown, bonkers, mind-blowing, insane. I don't believe it.
Believe it, brother. They call it the Citizens United ruling, and it now allows corporations to spend unlimited amounts of money to buy politicians and influence elections however they want.
Wait! That means that corporations can get people elected who will do whatever they want, even if it hurts normal people.
I think the universe is going to implode.
Oh, but if these rich hitches are controlling our elections, then where does my say in the process end up?
Well, in the political toilet flush.
But
Well, that's not democracy at all.
But wait, we are here because we are all real people. Every one of us. You and me. The Founding Fathers specifically put the power in the hands of the people to prevent greedy corporations from taking over. But that power is slipping through our hands. But we aim to take it back. We're gonna kick corporations out of the election. They aren't people. They don't get to tell us what to do.
No way.
We're gonna return to a government of the people.
By the people.
And for the people.
Woo-hoo! Yeah, so stick around while we figure out who stole our democracy and how we're gonna get it back.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
We've all been moved to fight for a change, and we hope to move you to feel the same way.
And people are people. Our companies? Nay!
We move to amend
.org.
the rules of the game. And people are people, we love and we cry, we laugh when we're tickled, get cold when we die. We're born from a war moon, we think
we're alive.
you don't have a heart, then you don't qualify.
Well, the crooked elites have tried to disperse us. They feed us white bread and sedate us with circus.
But what they don't know is their method won't hurt us.
We flip it, reverse it, we've given it feet. We do love to play and we do love to eat. But corporations ain't people, they're money machines. So welcome home to Bread and Circus. What will happen next? Will corporations ultimately flatten democracy? Or will the people fight back and reclaim their rights? And people are people, we love and we cry, we laugh when we're tickled, get cold when we die. We're born from a war moon, we think we're alive. If you don't have a heart, then you don't qualify.
You may be wondering what a regular kid like me is doing at this crazy circus show. But the thing is, I'm not a regular kid. I have special powers. See, every night I have these dreams where I live through moments in history like I was actually there. So, you may have heard my friends talking earlier about how corporations have the same rights as people and yada yada yada. You probably thought to yourself, wait, how did this happen? What's the crazy story behind it? Well, that's why you're lucky that I'm here, because I've been there. In my dreams, I mean. I saw the whole messy business. So I'm here to tell you a story about how people used to be people, and corporations used to be corporations, and then how everything got turned right upside down. Once upon a time, 500 years ago, there lived this British king. This king was broke from throwing all his kingly parties and fighting his kingly wars. Boo-hoo, he said. How am I going to get more of those gold coins I like so much? Meanwhile, there were a bunch of rich guys who wanted to plunder distant lands, but they needed the king's protection. And this gave the king an idea. He got everyone together and told the rich dude that he'd let them do whatever they wanted if they'd slip him some cash. Everyone agreed, and that's how corporations were born. Fast forward 200 years, and what do you get? The biggest, baddest, most dangerous corporation to ever exist. The the British East India Company.
Boo!
It controlled the entire planet. It had like 1 million ships and workers and even its own army and court system and judges and everything. And don't forget, it also controlled the government. The East India dudes and their rich pals were making things pretty bad for a bunch of people in America, especially women, the poor, and Native Americans. They wanted crazy profits, so they came to the king and said, "Hey king, you better tax those colonists silly." And the king does it. There was just one problem. The colonists freak out and they dump all the tea in the harbor. It gets so bad that they fight a whole war over it. People say that the war was about monarchy and taxes, but that's just half of it. The people were so mad because giant corporations were controlling their lives. When the whole thing was over, the people cheered! But before they could finish, the rich guys in America met in secret to pass this thing called the Constitution. Now, you've probably heard some great things about the Constitution, but let's face it, it was mainly written to make the new people in power rich. So, when it came out, the regular people were like, "No way, nuh-uh, we're not accepting that piece of paper until we get some respect around here." That's how we got the Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights is probably one of the most important documents ever written. It said that all people were entitled to some basic rights. But it's not just people with like skins and bones and brains and stuff. You had to be be a legal person. And to be a legal person, you had to be a man, you had to be rich, you had to own land, you had to be white, and you even had to be the right religion. And do you want to know how many people in the United States met those requirements? Only about 8%. These regular people like you and me had a long fight ahead of them before they'd get real rights. But everyone could agree on one thing. Big corporations were bad news. So the colonists got together and they passed a bunch of laws that made sure corporations would do what the people told them to. And these laws were pretty mind-blowing. First off, a corporation had to prove it served the public good before the legislator would write a law and allow it to exist. And they could only exist for a little while. Banks, for example, could only exist about 7 years. After that, they had to prove they deserved another chance. There were laws capping corporate profits, laws that banned mergers, laws that required board members to be local, and corporations weren't allowed to own more land than they needed, and their books had to be totally published. But the craziest law was all, for 75 years, in most states, it was a felony for corporations to donate a single penny to elections. Now, think about the worst corporations now. Goldman Sachs or Walmart or ExxonMobil, could they even exist under the laws I just mentioned? No way. So how did things get so crappy from there? Don't worry, I'm going to tell you. But first you have to remember that Bill of Rights and how being a legal person gave you powers. Not everyone got to be people, especially the African Americans who were stolen and enslaved. Things got so bad that another whole war was fought over this issue. And when it was all over, ta-da! Congress passed the 14th Amendment, which said that black people were legal persons. They had to be treated equally. Well, duh! But it was a good day to be an American. There was just one teensy little problem. The war basically allowed bankers and railroad fat cats to run the show. The only thing stopping them were those pesky laws that I told you about earlier. Corporations knew that the only way around those laws was to become a legal person, because people got rights and they couldn't be messed with. So they went to the Supreme Court, and they took the amendment that made African Americans legal persons, and they used it for themselves. They used a bunch of boring cases to say, blah, 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 I'm a legal person, gimme, gimme, gimme. And after a few years of doing this, one judge got pretty sick of it. And when the next case came up, he said, I don't want to hear whether corporations are people or not, because we all know they are. And that was it. One judge who happened to love corporations spoke for everyone in the entire country, and then bam! Corporations got the same rights as people. The case was called Santa Clara County versus Southern Pacific Railroad, and the year was 1886. And it was pretty much the beginning of the end of our democracy, because everyone knows corporation is nothing like a person. They're machines that live forever and exist to make a profit. But after 1886, it got worse. Ever wondered why, if a coal company wants to move in, you can decide what color the smokestacks are, but you can't say you don't want a coal plant at all? Well, that's because of the 14th Amendment. The Supreme Court says that, you'd be discriminating against the coal plants if you didn't want to breathe dirty air. Crazy, right? Then the corporations got the 4th Amendment, the one that protects your privacy, and they used it to say that no one can check to see if they're obeying environmental or labor laws. After that, the 5th Amendment, which says the state has to pay it if it takes your property. Now the government has to pay corporations millions of dollars anytime they make laws that could impinge on their profits. But the biggest right was still off in the distance. Freedom of speech. Freedom to say your ideas and make decisions about what happens to you. Corporations knew if they had the power to speak, that they'd be unstoppable. So they went for it. Corporate CEOs said they had the right to free speech, same as everyone else. And this meant spending an unlimited amount of money on elections. And the Supreme Court agreed. This means that corporations could basically decide who got elected every year and no one could say a darn thing about it. Democracy is becoming a total joke. See, I told you it was a scary story. And not only that, it's the same old story as always. Back to, when the king was around with a bunch of rich guys and they just wanted to start taking over the earth. And what do they do with all that power? They poison our air and our food, and they pay us nothing and fill our heads with ads, and they decide what they teach in our schools and control information and invade our privacy, and they take our homes and sprawl our cities and decide who's an American and who's not, and they put people in prison, they change our climate, they write our laws, but for what? Allow But that's not how it's supposed to work. And sometimes I actually get really pretty scared. I see a bunch of really bad stuff going on, and I feel like I can't do anything about it. I mean, if I had a say, I think I would make a pretty good planet. I certainly wouldn't spew gross stuff in the air and close schools and ruin everything. You know? It'd be pretty awesome. But no one asks me. So I guess what I'm saying is, I want a real democracy. But I can't do that until a bunch of other people get hopping mad and they say, hey, I don't care if you wear a black robe and you work in a marble building. Rights are for real humans, and money's most definitely not speech. You better pass some amendments right now, buddy, or else. Yeah. But even if that happened, we couldn't stop there. Because, I mean, we'd just be back to where we started. Most of us have never even seen a real democracy, so we'd have to sit down and we'd have to talk it out with each other. We'd just have to say, well, what is this rad world we actually want to build? What does the government look like? What does the economy look like? Healthcare. And so we talked it out and we got everything changed. Sure, it's a big task, but we have to do it, and fast. I guess having dreams about history makes me have dreams about the future, and how good and fair and all around awesome it really could be. I guess someday, when I'm really old, I hope to still be a part of this crazy circus show, and then I can come back and tell you about a dream I had where a bunch of people rose up and fought this giant corporate monster and won. But I can't make this happen on my own. I need your help. So, come on, let's write a new story. The end. Or as I'd like to say, the beginning. Woo!
Thanks for sticking around, everybody. We've got one more act. It's called The Government's New Economy. It's a parody of The Emperor's New Clothes.
Malarkey, sir. You've done an amazing job these last 4 years. Who said that?
The news!
No, they're traitors! Communists! Muckraking opportunists!
It'll hurt the campaign, won't it? Don't I need good press?
No, what you need, sir, is a more powerful power tie.
Oh.
And a photo in front of an empty soup kitchen. People need to see how the economy is thriving.
Are there really no lines in front of the soup kitchens?
Well, there aren't any at 4 a.m.
Oh, good. Problem solved.
Yeah.
Then I'll get reelected, right?
Right, because the richer this country is...
No. The richer this country looks.
Oh, yes. The richer this country looks, the more people will see what a beautiful job you've done, sir. Everyone loves to look rich.
And they're scared stiff when the country looks poor. They hate it so much they'll believe about any good news.
Yeah, whatever. Just get me reelected. I like wearing these nice suits. I need to look rich, you know, for the good of the republic and all that. So, what else you got besides these off-hour soup kitchens?
As I suggested earlier, sir, more power ties.
No, it's not enough. I need more. What about job growth or increasing the GDP? Bringing jobs back on shore.
No. That's going to take way too long. Years, even. The election's in 6 months.
Ooh, what about inflation?
Inflation is bad.
Really?
Really bad.
Oh, I thought it was a good thing. Sounds like getting bigger. Well, whatever. Just fix it and fast. What do I pay you for?
Actually, sir, you don't pay us, the lobbyists from Goldman Sachs.
The citizens pay our salary, I think you meant to say.
The citizens pay our salary.
Yeah. I don't really care. If I'm out, you're out. That's all I know. So, inflate or grow our economy, or there'll be no new suits for anyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Huh? Now what am I gonna do? That was my best stuff.
I don't know. The economy is so bad right now. What if we lose our jobs?
I've got it. What if we try selling some of those natural juices? Bear with me here.
Tired of that old pesky job? Looking for something new in your life? We have the product for you. Gig Mode, the all-natural elixir that practically sells itself. All you need to do, and you need to sign up for $200 a month of this amazing new product, and all your troubles will melt away.
Well, hello, gentlemen.
Hey, see? Hello, how are you? Look looks like you're looking for something new in your life.
Not from you,
Oh,
sometimes.
okay.
We're not looking for any juice, my partner meant to say. Suppose you could say we're all juiced up at the present. We are, however, looking for something else. Maybe you two could point us in the right direction?
Probably not.
My consultation fee is 1 gray power suit, a 2-pan power suit.
Well, that seems fair.
Yeah.
But considering that it may not be an adequate thing to do, we have these financial products, see? Nice ones.
What's a financial product?
Don't worry about the details. Tell you about them later. Makes you money, see? And that's the main thing, right? We have nice ones. New ones.
But what's a financial?
What'd he say? Don't worry about it. It's not your concern.
The bottom line, gentlemen, is making everyone money. And that's a good thing, right?
See, even we don't know how they work completely, but they work big time. Your home value will double in 5 years. Bam! How's that? All we need is a completely deregulated banking system and no government oversight.
We just need a little bit room to work. Room to spread our wings, you could say.
Wait, whoa. So you're gonna grow our economy and all you need is room to work?
Well, some government subsidies would be really nice.
Some government cooperation.
Whoa, hey, whoa, be careful.
We've reinvented your old, antiquated, boring financial system.
With our mysteriously magical approach, we've disproven the link between labor and production.
See, our methods require no exertion on your part and nobody else's.
and nobody else's.
Nobody else's. See, our financial products are available on all mobile platforms. We insist on that for everyone.
Everyone with a credit card, a car loan, a full-time job, and enough disposable income to pay for a smartphone.
Well, and the best part,
This is where it gets good.
our economy exposes socialists. Anyone who can't see the limitless red, white, and blue virtues of our new economy hates America, our God, and hard work.
These ideas are way too big to fail.
Now all we need to do is just derive some derivatives and trade titles with the international market and stabilize.
Wait. I don't get it. Trust us, you don't have to get it. The bottom line is, everybody is going to make money. Well, that's a relief.
Besides, you ask questions, you just end up looking stupid.
Wait, but what if...
They're stupid.
How can... I can see our services are wanted here.
Sad, really. With our financial machinations, the economy would trickle down.
Job creation, lad, job creation.
You see, by taking the poor and placing them in ever-increasing debt and providing them with no living wages, the GDP will increase.
Is that a good thing? Well, it certainly ain't bad.
Or is it? But that hardly matters. The only thing that matters is everyone who's important is happy.
Oh, happiness is good. Where do I sign? Well, I know.
Hey.
Are they deriving derivatives?
It would appear so, sir.
Well, go check.
Check, sir, on the derivatives?
Yes. Who's in charge here?
That's a good question.
Me. I'm telling you, go see how our new friends are doing.
Okay, yes, I'm going right. Hi.
Oh, you're here.
We've been expecting you.
It's only natural that you'd want to see.
Everybody wants to see.
But people rarely understand.
Nobody understands.
Where you look smart, sharp as a tack, or tacky as used gum. Just get at it. We got jogging, acronyms,
Jogging.
You guys look like you're working really hard. I don't really understand
We got it.
Everything's hunky-dory, sir. Fit as a fiddle.
And the financial products?
Financial products, well, they're amazing, beautiful in all their simplicity. Everyone's going to love them.
So do they need any more deregulating or tax breaks?
You know, that's not really my area of expertise.
Oh, liabilities and assets, my girl. Liability and assets. It'll all work out in the end.
It always works out in the end.
Some call them toxic.
So-called toxic.
Oh yeah, so-called toxic, but we call them terrific.
Terrific.
Because the capital is there, even when it's not.
Yeah, we just gotta capitalize
Yeah, we just gotta capitalize on it. Get out.
Go.
We got it.
Sir,
Bye.
a little more government deregulation. It wouldn't hurt.
Ooh, yeah. Now that's a real healthy economy.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's literally glowing with health.
Oh, glowing is good.
Yeah. Oh, will you look at that growth?
Look at the
Will you
growth.
just look
It's
at that
growing.
inflation?
Oh, it really brings out your eyes. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, will the voters like it?
Well, there's only one way to find out.
And you get a house with an adjustable mortgage rate, and you get a house with payments that you'll never be able to make, and you get a house until we foreclose on it. Student loans for everyone. Happy, happy, happy.
Everyone is happy.
Everyone is happy. Hush.
Hey, that sounds like a personal problem to me.
Everybody! This economy isn't real!
You don't want to shut up, kid.
But it isn't real! It's based on lies and greed!
Lies? Who's lying?
The banks are lying to the people!
I have your lies right here.
They're profiting off a corrupt system they themselves
I'm going to
created!
corrupt you if you don't shut up.
Banks got bailed out!
Communist!
We got sold out!
Socialist!
How could you do this to us? Whose interest do you stand for anyway?
Hey, it's every man for himself, Ken.
No. What he means to say is this is the beauty of a free market.
feed my kids.
Where have all the jobs gone?
My grandma just lost her home. Oh, well, what are we going to do now?
Hey, what I say about questions, the stupid.
Stupid.
But isn't that the very essence of a democracy? Asking questions and getting some answers?
You poor innocent fool.
It's sad, really.
You mortgaged off your democracy, and happily ever after was never bought on credit.
Oh, dear. Well, we've got a lot of work to do.
And people are people, we love and we cry, we laugh when we're tickled, get cold when we die. Born from a war womb, we think we're alive. You don't have a heart, then you don't qualify. Democracy!
Move to Amend SLC, and we are an affiliate of a national organization called Move to Amend that's trying to get corporate influence and money out of our democracy. So let's hear it for that. And to do that, our ultimate goal is to pass an amendment to the Constitution that abolishes all the corporate rights that are only supposed to be for human beings, and that says that we should be able to decide how much money corporations spend in our elections. We're also getting people together into big rethinking democracy sessions to start to create the alternatives for the economy and politics that we actually want to see. So please join us. Raise your hand if you've got a clipboard. You can raise your hand too. So these people, if you're interested, ask them about how you can get involved. We have a ballot initiative on the November ballot, so you can come out and vote and say corporations are not people, money is not speech, and that you want your democracy back. And we are called Bread and Circus. Bread and circus is a term that historians use to talk about how empires control their populations by giving them just enough food to survive and entertaining them to distraction. But now we've entertained you with education so you can rise up. And we've got some bread for you over here. So come eat bread and talk about how corporations have affected your life and what you want in your rad new world. Thanks for coming.
Thank you all.